Hello everyone, this is Ashley Tucker. Thank you for joining me today. For today's card, I'm going to be using the stamp set that came in Simon Says Stamps November card kit. I took a piece of Neenah Desert Storm cardstock. This is my favorite craft cardstock, and I'm going to be stamping the leaves from the stamp set onto that with Distress Oxide inks. My plan was to use every single one of the leaves in the stamp set, but I accidentally missed one. There are so many leaves in this stamp set, but that's okay because I'm sure I'll make a card in the future and I'll use it on that one. So the colors of Distress Oxide ink that I chose to use for this are Aged Mahogany, Fired Brick, Spiced Marmalade, Bundled Sage, and Fossilized Amber. Sometimes you wouldn't think to use Distress Oxide inks on a craft cardstock, but because this ink is really opaque, you can use it on darker cardstocks and it comes out really nice. I love the way that it looks on the craft cardstock. Now you may have noticed by now that I'm doing all of this stamping with the same block. This might seem a little strange, but I actually only own one acrylic block. I have a MISTI tool and I have a Fiskars stamp press, so I've never really seen the need to buy a lot of acrylic blocks. Personally, I'd rather spend my craft budget on other things, so that's why I just have the one. So yes, this did take quite a while to do with just the one block, and it would have been a lot quicker if I had multiple acrylic blocks, but it didn't really bother me because I just watched an Instagram live video while I was doing it and I was just enjoying the stamping. One thing that I do, which speeds it up just a little bit, is I put one stamp on one side of the acrylic block and another stamp on the other, so I can do two stamps at a time. I'm curious, how many acrylic blocks do you guys own? Let me know in the comments. Maybe someday I will pick up a few more acrylic blocks for situations like this, but I honestly don't see myself doing that for a while because there are so many other things that I want to get first. For example, I was just swatching my Distress Oxide inks and I realized how many I'm missing, and I have full set syndrome, which means I really want to get the rest of those and I want them more than acrylic blocks. Anyways, once all of those leaves were done being stamped, I took these gold and silver paint markers and I added some little dots in all of the empty spaces in between those leaves. I added all of these little dots in groups of 3. I chose the really long sentiment from the stamp set because I really think it is beautiful. I love what it says, and the handwriting, of course, is gorgeous because this is Christina Warner's handwriting, and I love her handwriting so much, and I was so happy when I saw that she did this stamp set. So I stamped that onto a piece of vellum with Versamark ink, and then I embossed it with Simon Says Stamp Rose Gold embossing powder. I just got this embossing powder and I absolutely love it. I think it is a beautiful color. I took a piece of really deep red cardstock and I glued that down onto an A2 size card base with my ATG gun. I trimmed the leaf background that I created so that it's just a little bit smaller than the A2 size card base, and then I glued that down with my ATG gun as well. Next, I took my sentiment, which is on that vellum, and I added a very, very tiny amount of adhesive to the corners of that. And a lot of times I would use a liquid adhesive for this, but for this one, I thought I'd try to use my ATG gun and see how that came out. I was actually really pleased with how that came out. You could barely see the adhesive through the vellum, which is what I'm always going for when I'm gluing down vellum. I used my Gina K Connect glue to add some brown half pearls to the corners of that vellum sentiment. I really liked the way that these half pearls kind of look like they are the thing that are holding the sentiment onto the background, when in actuality they're just there for show. So I really wanted to keep this card simple because I wanted that gorgeous sentiment to take center stage. So I just added some dashed lines around the border, and then this card was all done. Thank you for watching today. I hope you really enjoyed this card design using the stamp set from Simon Says Stamps November card kit. All of the supplies that I used today can be found in the description down below. If you enjoyed watching today and you have not yet become a subscriber to my channel, I would encourage you to hit that subscribe button so that you can see all of my future videos. I'm going to be back with a new video on Wednesday. Again, thank you for watching. I appreciate all of you and I hope you have a great day today.